Wheels. In today's episode we're taking the ASBO, the 695 70 Anniversario Abarth, up to Fort William. So over the next few days we'll be doing a bit of filming of the car, a bit of the scenery. Anne is currently driving, as you can see. We are on the A74M, just north of Gretna Green. Today is the 23rd of July, and I hadn't realised when I agreed or decided to go away that today was the first day, or the day that the schools break up in England, so the traffic has been absolutely horrendous and the services were utter bedlam, but we needed to stop for a wee and a coffee, so we did. Anyway, we're pressing on now. Not much more to say at this stage, but as I say, over the next couple of days we'll be putting the film together, a bit about the car and a bit about the scenery, and I hope you enjoy the video. Well, what a journey that was. We got here eventually. Took us nearly 9 hours. Traffic was horrendous, particularly going south, but the Abarth performed absolutely impeccably over the 301 miles that it took us to get here. It was a little bit noisy sometimes. It's a lot of road noise, but it was also a lot of fun, particularly in sports mode, coming across Glencoe, which you can see some of the shots just overlaying while I'm talking now. Just enjoy a little bit of the Glencoe and a little bit of light music, and normal service will be resumed in the not too distant future. Well, at last we're going to now take a look around the outside of the 695 Anniversario. This one is finished in 1958 Monza green, which was the colour they used for some record breaking attempts. The car itself, as I say, it's a 180 brake horsepower, 1.4 turbocharged engine. This has got the 1446 Garrett turbocharger, 140 brake horsepower, 250 Newton meters of torque at 3000 revs, and we'll come back to that in a bit. It's got these lovely 17-inch alloy wheels, massive 4-pot Brembos on the front and Brembo brakes on the back. It's body kit. I mean, I think it's a great looking car. Comes with this spoiler, which you adjust between 0 and 60 degrees, so it can be dead flat or dead upright, and supposedly it gives something like 42 kilograms of downforce at 200 kilometers an hour, which is roughly 120. The car having a top speed of I think it's 143 miles an hour. Fitted to the car as standard from the factory is what they call record Monza exhaust. So you've got the 4 outlets, and it sounds great. Sometimes it's a bit childish, but you know, such is life. Looking onto the inside of the car, I have changed the dashboard. You might have seen in an earlier film, changed it to a carbon wrapped dashboard. Comes with these lovely Seatbelt seats, which some people say are a bit uncomfortable. I think it depends on your frame. There are some awkward features, like for example, you adjust the rake with this, but when the door's shut, you've not got enough room for your hand to do that. And it is, of course, in theory a four-seater, but there's not sort of masses of room in the back. For the 695 Anniversario, the seats are sort of leather, Alcantara and fabric. They come with this brown stripe here and the little flag, Italian flag up there. Also fitted to this particular car are these checker stripes on the roof, all as standard, and the scorpion badge on the bonnet. Now interestingly, the badges are quite unusual, because this says Abarth and Sea, which is the original badge, and the scorpion legs here are the full leg, and that's specific for this model. Look under the bonnet here. It comes with the BMC performance air filter, and just here is the 1446 Garrett turbocharger. And this particular car as well, as standard on this specification, comes with the bi-xenon headlights, and you can always tell because there are two fillers for the wash wipe, because part of the law says that you've got to be able to wash wipe on these style of headlights. So one does the screen and one does the headlights. So the 695 Anniversary, so it's meant to be sort of the flagship model. They've done a pretty good job at it with the various body kits and things. They could have done better in a couple of places, I think. The seats, for example, they're lovely and comfortable, these Seatbelt seats. They seem to fit my frame. But on the SAS, say for example, they're a carbon shelled seat, and it would have been nice if these were also carbon shelled. But overall, it's a very nicely put together, nicely specified car. One of the things I didn't mention, of course, is the suspension on this one. It has the Koni FSD suspension, and that is really good. I'm just trying to get some of the background in as well, because it's very nice where we are here, just sort of on a little B road outside Fort William. And now an attempt for some gratuitous arty shots of the car looking mean and moody against a stunning backdrop. Not really sure how well it's going to come out, because we're now filming directly into the sun, and quite frankly anything could be happening. I can't even see the screen at the moment. So we're now going to have a couple of goes at 0 to 60, just to see what it's like. We'll do it in sport mode, because that's rude not to. And I just need to manoeuvre myself carefully into the road. Right, and here we go. 60. So that felt quite quick from this seat. What did it feel like from yours, Anne?
Yes, it did.
Mildly terrifying.
Mildly terrifying.
Yeah.
I did ever so well. I didn't scream.
Awful smell of burning rubber. We'll try it again in a minute with the TCC off. It didn't perhaps help that we had a bit of front wheel was on gravel. It's not been easy trying to find somewhere to do this around here, but I'm sure we'll manage somewhere else. to some driving impressions of the car. To be honest, it's a very good car to drive. I'm only an average driver, and I find the handling perfectly good for everything I need it to do. Arguably there might be smoother cars on the road, there might be faster cars, but it is an Abarth, and only an Abarth, I think, can put this level of grin on your face. Looking just quickly around the inside of the car, we've got Anne driving at the moment, but you can see things like the steering wheel, hopefully, which is a lovely chunky thing. It's Alcantara, and it's got carbon fibre fitted to it. The car comes well equipped. It has Apple CarPlay, all the mod cons, air conditioning, and best of all, a fun button, which I'm about to press. And that changes the characteristics of the car. It opens a control valve in the Monza exhaust, which makes it louder and therefore more fun for me, probably not for everybody else who's on the pavement, but such is life. Earlier in the film I mentioned the torque figure of 250 Newton meters, which comes in at 3,000 revs, and I said I'd come back to that because it is quite an interesting number. This car, in common with all of the Fiat 500 range and the Abarth 500 range, comes with a 5-speed gearbox, and a lot of people are a bit critical of that and think it could do with a 6th speed. For me, coming up on the motorway yesterday, which we spent quite a long time on the motorway, 5th gear, 3,000 revs is 70 miles an hour, and the car was fine. I mean, okay, 6th gear might have been slightly more relaxing, but it wasn't the engine noise that was intrusive, it was really the road noise coming from the wheels and the tyres, and that was very much dependent on the surface. But coming back onto that torque figure, you see it produces peak torque bang on 70 miles an hour in 5th gear. So, and I know you can only do this on a racetrack, because I would never ever drive at more than 70 on a motorway, but theoretically if you put your foot down at 70, it picks up very quickly to high 80s, and before you even know what you're doing. But of course that's only ever done on a track, and certainly would never condone doing such things on a public road. And the brakes are pretty impressive, as Anne just found out. I don't know quite what she was doing, drifting on, I think.
No.
No, certainly not. Anyhow, yeah, so that's that. Well, that little bit of heavy braking action, Anne's just said to me that, well, the problem is that the brakes on this are very powerful, so she just hit the brakes as she would do in a normal car, and it's not, she says, her fault that I had to peel myself off the windscreen. It is her fault. She's driving, I'm not. I think one of the things that will have to be done at some point with the Abarth is a track day, because you certainly can't get the best out of it on the road. I mean, we're cruising along now, just on a normal A road in Scotland. We're doing 57 miles an hour, 58, and it just feels like you're stopped. Now some cars, of course, that sort of speed makes you feel like you're going really quick, but this is just incredibly, almost boring at street legal speeds. So I think a track day is going to have to be in order at some point. Don't
naughty.
be that guy that you complained about at home.
Yes.
As ever with these videos, it's always good to say a few words about things you don't quite like as much about the car. So overall, it's an excellent car, really enjoy having it, and it's a lot of fun. But ultimately, you know, it is effectively a cheap car with a lot of tuning kit on it. So some of the fit and finish isn't perhaps as good as you might want. You know, the door cards are a bit dodgy and things like that. But one of the biggest disappointments is found outside. So for example, you know, this nice checkered roof looks great, but actually these are just stickers that are stuck on. And I really think it should have been painted, but maybe that's just me being pedantic. Another thing, you know, you've got these lovely Abarth stripes along the bottom here. Hopefully you can't quite see them. The sun's on the lens at the moment, I can't see. Just here, and they're great. But then when you open the door, kind of a bit, you know, But realistically, that is about all I don't like about the car. I mean, sometimes I think it does look a little bit Halfords in terms of the body kit, but then I think I actually don't care, I like it. And it's very well specified for what you get. As I say, 180 brake horsepower, massive Brembo brakes, FSD damping conies front and rear, limited slip differential. It's just a great car and I absolutely love it. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed the video, a quick review. There will be more on this little vehicle as time goes by, but that's all we've got for today. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your mates, and look forward to seeing you in a future episode of Wolfie's Wheels. Bye.